DreamHack ASTRO Open is brought to you by ASTRO, Monster Energy, Corsair, Zowie, and Intel.
It's the final day, semis and grand final. The crowd will be filtering in now in Jönköping. The sun rises, well, it never really sets here in the middle of Sweden. We've got a lot to look forward to. I'm thoroughly excited to bring all of the action your way. That is what they play for. It is the DreamHack Open, $100,000 and the trophy. The champions previously inscrawled upon it, and you see some of them are going to be trying to lift it for the second time today, and others trying to pop their trophy cherry. Don't know where I'm going with that. Should script some of this stuff. My name is Machine. I'll be your host, and we'll be guiding you through all of the action. You know it's grand finals. I've bothered to put on a jacket, and now we have the boys in black as well. Which one of you, the real question is, which one of you is Will Smith, the men in black?
I don't think I can.
You're older, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're the grumpy
exactly.
one.
I have to be the grumpy one.
Yeah, first
I went to bed,
now you're grumpy.
I went to bed at 11 yesterday. Like, I've just embraced the retirement life.
Well, I didn't, so I'm going to need some energy drink. In fact, Monster Energy are one of our sponsors. We'll thank them now as I crack into a cold one with the boys. Let's bring it up. Monster Energy, as well as, of course, ASTRO, Zowie, Intel, and Corsair, all coming together to make this event happen. Victory sip. Shouldn't have done that. That was horrible on the microphone. Let's get into this one, though, gentlemen. As we've said, a big thank you to our sponsors. A big thank you for you for joining me and hopefully shedding some light on some of the games going down today. And it's not necessarily the most predictable of results to have the last 4 teams remaining. We start with 8. We've chopped it in half, and now we have 4 remaining in the semi-finals. Jacob, did you sleep well?
I slept very well.
You did? Like a baby?
Yeah, like a baby.
Yeah, I think we're all feeling nice and rested, ready. Wait, your shirt is not black on the camera. It's like an optical illusion. What's happening?
It's definitely black here.
I mean, I'm sitting here in my purple shirt and it just looks perfect, you know? Yeah.
It's weird how that works.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Absolutely. Let's bring up those groups, magic. Ladies and gentlemen, because that is where we are at right now. Or at least I can talk a little bit about them. You can see here just how it did shape up. The likes of Mouse Sports have fallen to SK Gaming. We had a spectacular best of 3 there, pushing it right to the limit, 16-14 at times. And Immortals already locked themselves in through that winners match, beating SK. It has been a journey. And of course, on the other side of things, you can see Group B, and there stand Fnatic. That was kind of sink or swim, do or die. Halvor, Gambit falling. Was that one of your bigger highlights from the Group B?
Yeah, bigger highlights, definitely. I expected Gambit to make it through together with Fnatic. Obviously, the big surprise in Group B was CLG, who ended up winning the group. I had them going, out first.
Yeah.
But they've definitely showcased that they're here for a reason. And they've been playing remarkably well throughout the entire tournament. The story with Gambit was they started off slow, got progressively better, but wasn't enough to topple Fnatic. But CLG's just been they started off hot and just never let down.
Never took their foot off the gas, and we won't either. This tournament is about to continue to provide some sexy Counter-Strike. In fact, let's have a little look back on some of that spectacular Counter-Strike just over yesterday.
Best maps is side Cloud9, and my word, automatic. Alright.
In these scenarios comes to fruition, and Alpha is going to use the USP against the CTs. The much needed pistol round will be going convincingly to SK.
If he gets a frag here, oh lol, that's the blind manifold! Lol is alive and kicking, 3 kills on B. Oh god, that flash, oh no, Hobbit's caught 3 out, completely unawares, the 3rd as well to follow, nothing.
So this could get really interesting. Well, Flusher, what you've got in the back. Oh, nearly gets a 2-for-1. He actually hit a Dren through Hobbit. As Mo sniped out of his shoes. Flusher with another one. Maybe they should give him the AWP more often. Looking for a second, he connects it. Oh, and he gets a 3rd as well. Surely he's not going to pull this one. Oh, Caldera, the man, the myth, the beast.
Wow, it always gets my goosebumps going. There was some spectacular plays yesterday. The man, the myth, beast will be back on stage. In fact, actually, the man, the myth, the beast is on stage right now. Parla is hanging out with us. Hello, you tank. How you doing?
Good to see you, brother. How are you?
I'm good, mate. We're gonna go down McDonald's later.
Maybe we'll hit up a McDonald's. How are you doing, Alex? How are the guys doing on the desk? Halvor?
Doing pretty good, man. Finally got a good night of sleep. Feeling pretty fresh.
He was a zombie yesterday, but I don't think you knew.
I actually had the most amount of sleep last night that I've had maybe at any event, so I'm rested and ready to go. Hopefully the players are as well. I'm looking across at CLG, SK. The guys in the SK booth, they were doing some 1v1, Fur and Phelps going at it. Phelps was winning. Don't tell anyone I told you, okay?
Okay. Did you see any shaky hands on the CLG side, or are we seeing confidence exuded by the boys?
Honestly, right now, they're looking calm, collected. Rikke is ready to go, raring as always.
Yeah.
Eyes will be on Kusta, of course.
Yeah, I mean, such a good performance. You gave him the MVP yesterday. Do you think you're going to be giving it again?
I gave him my
your personal MVP.
Pseudo-personal MVP. He's going to have to do it again, right, guys, to make it happen. He played amazingly when he did on what he did on day one was exceptional, and we do know he's capable of doing that here and there. Can he find that consistency now again? We'll have to see.
Yeah. All right, well, we are going to love you and leave you. You are just going to be giving us all of those interviews and giving us some insight from those players, both winning, and will we get some pre-match today? I'm not sure.
I'm sure we'll be doing it for the final. For the semis, not entirely sure, but definitely for the final, as per usual, and we'll have a lovely entrance, so the audience will definitely be able to enjoy that.
I'm looking forward to seeing who will be on that grand final, first of all. Let's get those semi-finals underway. Parla will be back with you in just a while. First, we've got to get some Counter-Strike played. That is step one, and over on the stage, as he's already stated, it's CLG SK is where our first game will go. Following that, we will get to see the boys from Fnatic once again do battle versus another Brazilian side, Immortals. They've gone unmentioned as of yet, but I mean, Phelps' squad, old squad, bested him in a best of one to get that semi-final spot. I'm sure that surprised yourself, Jacob.
It surprised me a lot, especially the fashion they did. I know we talked about the map. It was Cash. It was one of SK's newer addition to the map pool, but still the way Immortals just beasted SK and straight up dominated the brothers from Brazil. You know, that was impressive.
It really was cool. And he already stated on stage, Parla saying that they're doing some 1v1s warm up. SK are not taking this lightly, and actually if you wanted to dabble in some fantastic ways to warm up, Boomio is a platform for you. It's one of our sponsors here. It enables you to go ahead and warm up in a more effective way. You can go ahead, do some duels, jump straight into your death matches, and alongside all of that, you've got tutorials from the very best all on one place. So go check it out. It's Boomio. It's going to be a training academy, so maybe we'll have you on the stage one day here at the DreamHack ASTRO Open. With that said, though, let's recap. Let's have a quick look at what these players said ahead of this semi-final. How did they get here, and how are they feeling?
We like to dry run a lot in servers, so we practiced a lot of our strats before we got to the match. We knew every map we wanted to play versus these teams, and it surely paid off, I guess, because we're in the semis now.
They're going to have to push him. There's one, and Finesse is going to be taking this one down in style in the end. One Molotov was all that was required.
The competition is very tough. We had a very good group stage, despite the fact that we lost 2 Immortals. I think we did well. We suffered a little bit from jet lag yesterday. We had only 10 or 15 hours to adapt to play our first game, but that's all right. Now I think we're rested and we're playing a little better Counter-Strike. So I'm looking forward for the semis now versus CLG.
In these scenarios comes to fruition, and now Fur is going to use the USP against the CTs. The much-needed pistol round will be going convincingly to SK.
We work a lot on like dry running in servers. We have a big strat book, so when we went OT with Fnatic, we still had a lot of stuff they didn't see, so it paid off. So we're just going to keep expanding our strat book and use that against these teams.
The goal is always giving our best, and results is just a matter of happening or not. Sometimes the opponent can play better than you, sometimes things can go not your way, so it's all about doing our best. That's what matters for us. We're going to prepare now ourselves to play against CLG. It's a team that we have a lot of practice before in the United States, but I think they're playing good Counter-Strike. They have a good AWPer, and they have a good synergy in their team. I'm looking forward for this match.
The main goal for this tournament was to get out of groups, and we did that. Now let's try to aim for the final and hopefully win it all.
CLG, we're coming for you. I don't want to say anything too harsh. Better say after a game, right? If you win it, I can say something.
Watch out, Kusa's going to come for you.
I'm a pet, their coach, standing behind these players. This is CLG FNS with 1v3s to get them that day off yesterday. Kusta said we're going to play with Huskies and enjoy the sunshine, and indeed, I'm sure they did. Now, back to the grind as they set themselves up for one hell of a task. A best of 3 versus the only team in Counter-Strike history to win back-to-back major events. It was spectacular, and now SK are trying to regain that. Get back on that throne, sit those buttocks down, and to step 1 of their 45-day holiday here in Europe is taking CLG down, and of course their opponent waiting in that grand final. Won't be an easy task though, however. We have to highlight that Kusta has been absolutely exceptional. He stands on the screen there.
Yeah, no, he's been by far the standout player for CLG. I mean, if you just want to see the potential that player has, you can just rewatch Fnatic versus CLG and see what kind of dominant performance he had. He started off the first half with 5 frags, or he ended the first half with 5 frags, ended up with something like 55. So, you know, that kind of goes to show when he gets into the groove of things, he really, you know, puts an impact on the game. And he was one of the massive reasons as to why CLG were able to pull through in a 5-0 team marathon. Obviously, like, he's been one of the guys that we've looked at for quite some time, actually, to really break out onto the scene. We thought it was going to happen with Liquid. That didn't pan out, but it's really nice to see that players who normally go through that kind of adversity, they oftentimes tend to fall off and just become a blimp on the radar or disappear into the shadows. Not the case with him. He finally found a team that he feels like he's a part of. He can actually, you know, feel confident in being allowed to do what he feels that he thrives in. So that's, you know, just what you want to see with players like him of his talent. Absolutely.
And I mean, to throw the other team towards you, Jacob, SK Gaming, the player we chose to highlight alongside both Phelps was Fur. Now, is he this player that stood out to you? And if so, why is that?
He always stands out.
Always.
It's just his play style. It's so aggressive. It's so. It feels like even when he might not have confidence. I don't think I've ever seen Fur play without confidence. Because when you look at him, it seems like he always has confidence. You know. But it's always so spectacular. It's always so special. It feels like he's one of the few players who has this like sixth sense of when to go aggressive, and that's the most amazing thing about Fur. I think, like, even when he's not supposed to go aggressive, even when that's obviously a stupid move, he sometimes make it work, or even often make it work, you know. And that's so spectacular about Fur. Ultra aggressive, ultra impactful for SK. He always put up a lot of damage. He always makes it easier for the guys like Cold0 to come in and clutch after, because he makes damage wherever he goes.
I do feel like there's always a discussion that aggression is bad. You know, it's lack of discipline. But what we're seeing here is that it's actually being rewarded and it's being praised.
I mean, in many ways, aggression done the right way is obviously going to be extremely beneficial. And obviously, oftentimes the biggest downfall of aggressive players, if you look at like someone like Apex, for instance, one of the downsides is that at times he didn't have a stop button to his aggression, right? He would just constantly keep going. And First seems to find that just sweet spot where it always works out for him, and that's why he's constantly having consistent performances and being a massive reason why SK are starting to you know, get closer to that #1 or like that legendary streak that we saw in 2016, where they were just the dominant force of CS.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's if you use the rankings that they used there on the graphic, it's ranked 18 versus #1.
But CLG are not playing like a ranked 18 team right now. I think that's definitely something you have to take into consideration. And it's been a slow grind for them.
Neither is SK playing as a ranked 1 team right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like we have this open circuit right now. We have so many teams who potentially could claim the #1 spot, and I don't feel any team right now can be confident being the best in the world right now. You know, so it's up for the play.
I think Krakow will be where we start to get a new real top dog locked in, or perhaps not even new, but still
a surprise.
Yeah, that would be a surprise. Now though, banned maps, let's have a look. SK are scared of the nuke, it seems, and Inferno from CLG is removed. I did like that we heard from the coach just saying, yeah, we do a whole lot of dry runs.
Yeah, this is a pretty expected veto. I think the biggest question mark was really surrounding who was going to ban nuke first. Neither team really plays it. It's been the first ban for both teams so far this tournament. But with SK just playing, like I said, playing it safe, not playing a game of chicken, that does allow for CLG to have some more wiggle room in terms of what they want to remove. Cash being banned out by SK, I guess they finally learned. In that sense, they don't feel willing going into Cash versus CLG, which again, I think that makes sense. CLG are not a bad Cash team at all, and SK definitely haven't looked promising on it, even though they've played it a ton as of late and tried to make the best out of it. Still feel it's much safer to go this route on Cobble. And this was what we talked about yesterday versus Mousesports, right? Like, if you have the opportunity to choose between Cash and Cobble for a third map, if you're SK, I think you should go with Cobble. Even though it necessarily hasn't been the same kind of a staple map as it's been for you in the past, it's still better than Cash, or at least safer.
safer.
Yeah.
Safer than Cash. I know, Jacob, you had some kind of some confusion when you saw Cash cropping up in the vetoes throughout that group stage. He even cropped up as the third versus Mousesports.
Yeah, that was surprising to me, and they left it in for Mousesports, which kind of makes me confused now why they didn't leave it in for CLG, because CLG is a fine Cash team, but they're not scary on it. It's a map that SK should win against them if SK feel confident on Cash, which they must have been somehow if they let in Cash against Mousesports yesterday, you know. So it's a bit confusing to me.
Again, it is that like weird. I don't know, like mentality that they have. Mentality that they've had towards their map vetoes as of late that just doesn't really make sense to me. Like I can't follow their logic as to how they explain how they go about it. Which is again, I think CLG on a map like Cobble is probably more scary than Mousesports. Honestly, what we've seen from them recently, if they're able to take down Gambit, they surely know what they're doing. So, and that's you might have wanted to rotate or like look towards Cash to be your third map, but. Again, SK, they're starting to show some, weird tendencies in their vetoes. But I guess, it is a part of like a 45-day journey, as you mentioned. Yeah. So they still have things to work at, and I think that might be what it is. Because so far, Cash hasn't panned out for them this tournament.
I mean, yes, they already stated this is some degree of a very highly competitive training ground as they prepare themselves for the big 45-day slog that starts right here in Jönköping. DreamHack Summer 2017. Let's do this then, Pimp. I need that prediction. Do SK continue their journey?
I doubt it. CLG actually beat SK on Mirage not so long ago in ESL Pro League, the online stages. So I was also surprising that SK actually picked that. It feels to me like SK knows that there wasn't a do or die game, you know. This is LAN, this is where it counts, and SK still feels confident picking Mirage. So I'm sure SK are feeling confident, and by going with that logic, I'm sure SK is going to win this series 2-0.
A confident SK.
Simply a better team. CLG, they've been playing well, and they need to play very well if they want to put up a fight even against SK, but I don't see it happen.
Yeah. Okay, Halvor.
Yeah, no, I've constantly been downing CLG. I'm going to give them a bit more leeway. I do see an opportunity for them to take Train with how they've been playing so far, especially because SK's Train has been looking very wonky as of late. Yeah. And with how much research CLG, seemingly are doing for each of their opponent, they should be definitely possible to actually take advantage of that, especially if Phelps continues to play Pop Dog the same way he's been playing. Again, he's going to always be aggressive. This is definitely things that CLG can take advantage of, and I'm hoping that we're going to see that in the first map. So if they get that, they might make it to a third, but it's still going to end up with an SK victory.
I would love to see a full 3, just because this story from CLG has been spectacular. Now, of course, we have to be impartial. This is just predictions. This is just our expressions. And, I absolutely hate biased casters.
It's the worst.
I'm going to go for SK, though. I am, actually. Yeah. I mean, the CLG Red Girls tried to bribe me last night. They were like, here, have a tattoo. Have an orange juice and a tattoo. And I was like, I'm sorry. I would love 3. The story is fantastic, and I would love to tell it, but I do believe SK are the better side today.
At least you put the tattoo on.
I don't think I put it on straight, though.
I mean...
It's like yeah.
Oh, wait, now you can do the Paula thing.
What's that?
Like the...
Yes! I'll do this. Okay, we haven't got time for that. Fun facts for you later, but for now, your casters are going to be diving and digging their teeth into this one. This is going to be fantastic. We have Pansy and Risk, Pisk. What?
God,
Thank
Alex,
you. I've been working on that. I've been working on that one for a while.
Did the orange juice get to you yesterday? Are you good?
I had like 3 orange juices.
All right, that's why. Vitamin C all over the place.
Yeah, I vitamin C overdosed. There was a joke there. Vitamin D.
Not great, not great. But no, I am looking forward to this series, though. I think this is going to be a great one. I think there's a good shot for CLG here. I think it's going to be 2-1 to them.
I agree.
Genuinely,
I don't agree on 2-1 to CLG, but I agree we're going to go to 3 maps, and then I think SK are going to take Cobblestone.
Yeah, CLG are up, still 2-1 on Mirage. Train, I don't think they're going to do it on, but, Cobble's an interesting one. I think that's where it comes down to,
I sincerely hope you get a full 3 to shout about, guys. We'll leave you to it.
That's what I want. All right, well... I want the full 3 maps here. That's basically what I'm looking at, is the full 3 maps, and that's what I want to see. And I think CLG have the potential to do it. Whether or not that comes through is yet to be seen. But I think people always put SK in that box of, the double major champions, but I'm just going to boil it down to this event. Yeah. We see what happens, day to day. Obviously, things can change. But this isn't the flawless SK. This isn't the untouchable SK. This isn't the SK where they can't be moved. They can be. They've shown weakness. They're not just these gods anymore. Yeah. So I think if CLG are prepared, this could be a good series.
And that's the wonderful thing about CS right now in this era that we're in, because every single team, the competitive level is so high.
Oh yeah.
Every team can beat each other if they have a good day and if they get everything done right on their map. And the map veto that we've seen so far, like last time these 2 teams played Mirage and Train in ESL Pro League in the online parts, as the desk mentioned, it was 2 wins for CLG, 16-12 on both of them. And we also have the last game they played on Cash, though, that was an overtime game as well. So they have a lot of close results in the last like couple of months here. And then of course we have SK not playing perfectly right now. And CLG, this is the most important event right now for CLG. While SK, they have a bunch of tournaments coming up that are more important. And especially the major, of course, what is their end goal. So this is what they're preparing for. And you got to give it to CLG. They have a good chance here.
They really do. But again, the win conditions now are amplified because I don't feel that SK are going to mess up that badly. Even at their worst, they're still brilliant. Right?
Oh, yeah,
that's the thing. Even if they're not having everything right, they're still so hard to handle. Now for CLG, the times they've beaten SK in the past, for me, it was Kusta and Ethan.
Yeah.
Again, the two big hitters. Sometimes you want a bit of, maybe Ricky coming in there and doing pretty well, but those are the pillars of what can keep CLG really pressuring these top teams. If they don't turn up today, that's when things can get rough. But you know what? So far, they've delivered.
Yeah.
Kusta's had, slower starts on the half a couple of times, but then, when it gets to OT, when it gets to the bigger rounds, he's always there. But still, SK Gaming on the T side, CT side is going to be CLG. And oh my word, we're going to have a bit of a B pressure play coming in soon. FNS could be already receiving a little bit of the attention. He knows what's coming, but Kusta is waiting very patiently down below. A surprise factor is Ricky is already on short. 3 players on B.
Let's see here, the CT stack should be enough to handle this, but Fur comes in from that underpass, and now the rotation is in. They have that good position here in Phelps, but he'll be taken out as well. And now 4v2, this is looking really, really hard for SK. Phelps is trying to find everything.
And look where the bomb is as well. That's the bigger issue. You've got Kusta pushing up.
Hard.
He found 2. It was a nice initial stack as well from CLG. Yep. Maybe you know what? I'm a Pet did an interview on HLTV, which is the coach for CLG, of course. And if you read through what he says, these guys do study demos. They are keen. They're the keen kids that you hate playing against because they watch that. And most people don't to that sort of degree. But if they've got this in the back of their heads, like, all right, on their pistol rounds, on Mirage, this is what they like to do. If they don't do this, it's probably this. But, that initial stack may indicate that CLG have done their homework. But that could backfire. There's still Fur and there's still Phelps. And these guys certainly have some firepower. So Kusta just playing into this one. Nice little timing on the peak. He's got a player behind him as well. That's Ricky. So both of these two should be able to handle it. Kusta off to 3 already. That could have been the start and a half if he gets 4 there. But you've got to be careful. Phelps still has potential here. Does now have the bomb, and the potential gets ripped away. Ricky gonna find 2 for himself, and that B lockdown was on point.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, like one of the win conditions I've written down as well for CLG is that they have to be able to shut down the T sides of SK. Because in my opinion, that's where SK really excels. On this T side, this is where they can beat every single team in the world, can school everyone. And if CLG can try to shut this down already, of course starting with the pistol is great. We need to see them do it in a couple of Byrons as well. But if they can do that, that's a real chance for them. Right now, SK, of course, on that pistol buy, as we usually see in this kind of meta, they have 2 smokes though, so this indicates that they can do something with this at least. Quick push up mid, and Fur with 1 through the smoke. Ricky picking up 1, I think it was mid, yeah. And now it's a push.
Yeah, if you ever watched the Pro League game back from North America where CLG won it, they love that early ramp pressure between Cutler and Ethan. Those 2 will play very, very close by. So maybe SK had a bit of that in mind, but Fur going to only find Cutler so far. It's kind of hard to break out now with the Tech 9 when Kusta's doing this. I get excited when I see this guy with a Scout and AWP. If he's feeling it early, we've got a great game. Because imagine then if Fallen's on, if Coldzera's on, we get such a sick AWP battle. But all right, Fallen, make it costly. Get some money. Let's see what he can do. Bomb's in a horrible place. Yeah. You're not looking at the win. You're like, how can I get guns off these people? Kusta steps down. He's not going to miss a shot, is he? This is going to be one of those days where every replay is like the Kusta frag movie.
Just take this whole VOD when we're done. Just name it Kusta fragment.
Yeah, just maybe put some Linkin Park on there. Yeah. We can throw back to Papa Roach if you're feeling it.
Back in
here it is. Here comes the frag movie. We like it. God, what a spicy gamer. All right, so far so good.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need. Like Kusta stepping up is so huge for them. He's one of these players when he has that top level on a good day, he can just outclass most players on the server. And if you can outclass SK, then you're pretty well underway because they are some of the best players in the world right now. First having a sick tournament, and the rest of the guys, of course, having normal games as well, which are, of course, better than most in CSGO right now.
But I will say as well, even though we often credit early good starts to really helping certain teams, I've got to say as well, I don't think it hinders SK. I think they've got a very good mentality of even if we don't get a good start, we don't want the gun rounds to come in, we're fine, we can fall back to this. They're not a team who's going to be completely panicked if they have a bad start. And I think that CLG actually do need this far more than SK care. You know what I mean? It's that imbalance where it should be okay. Kusta going to find Phelps, and Fur and Taco left in a rather tricky predicament here. Anything you get is a bonus, but for now, it'll be Ricky finding a good couple of kills there. And securing the round. Clean rounds as well. Good stuff. This is where it gets interesting, though. This is where we start seeing those buys coming through and where SK start to come alive. This is where it starts to build. That fire starts to burn. 4 rifles, no AWPs.
Again, their money's been pretty poor, to be honest. They've rarely got more than a couple of kills. I think the only person who really got kills was Fur so far. So again, everyone else just kind of trailing behind, lacking some utility. But this is where we get to see SK Gaming starting to really show what they've got.
Kusta's 7-0 right now has picked up an AWP's favorite weapon. Quick mid presence from Cutler once again, as we saw a couple of rounds before. Getting up here, taking that mid control, making sure the Tyrus can do anything. Kusta picking a 1-up, and Colster is still holding it down. Fallen takes down Cutler though.
Yeah, so much pressure being applied now. I was waiting for the molly to come through, double molly, forcing him out, and he still gets the face. That's the thing, you play with fire, you don't play chicken with a fox, right? Things go very badly wrong, so coldzera can still bite. But at this point, it's a 3v3. Now let's see the position from the T side. We've got Phelps playing through mid, through underpass. Bomb's still at the top of mid, but Fallen so low on HP, you can see how tentative he is right now. And where's Taco? Let's have a little look around, holding the push towards A. So again, this could be an A hit, but they could fall back around. There's still plenty of time to play with. No reason to rush. One smoke, a molly, and a flash.
And you can see slowly the CLG side are starting to worry about this B hit, because you had, first of all, like 10-15 seconds ago, we had 3 players on A, and the timing is perfect here. Ethan comes in, picks it up, and now the question is, what does CLG do? They have 3 players, live against 2. How do they split this one up? Are they going to go for 2 players on A? I think that's the case.
The tricky part is, for SK as well, is that Ethan's position is so annoying to check on. He could have pushed down ramp and held it passively. He's not. He's sitting right in sandwich, but for SK, it's angles that you have to fully commit to checking and leave yourself so vulnerable on others for. Checks towards Dark. And yeah, as soon as Ethan gets contact, you'll see the others respond. But Ethan, great work towards Phelps. And now Fallen, only 13 HP. He was kind of the walk-in wounded at this point. Good shot towards Ethan. And now the 1v2. CLG shouldn't lose this, and they don't. Kusta retains that rather dominating scoreline. And they retain the lead. First gun round goes to them, and that was the important one to get out of the way. But you could see the fight there, even when CLG apply all that pressure in mid. You can see coldzera still fighting out, Fallen still there. You've got to be very careful.
Yeah, and I think you pointed out earlier is the fact that CLG is so experienced. They're actually a team who can go down maybe 0-7 and still come back into the game.
100%.
Because they know exactly what they need to do to get back into the game. And as you said, CLG need the start. They need all these things to go their way in order to get this result. So far it's going well, but there's still plenty of rounds to go. Cutler right now, of course, with the MP9. I love this up against pistols. You can get that money and you can farm that. It doesn't really matter if you die early on. The rest of the team can kind of position around the information you gathered. Right now it's mid-control for the terrorists. The bomb is still way back, indicating that they're not going to go for a straight push on. So they're just waiting, checking out the positions, maybe getting someone boosted. And that's exactly what Phelps is doing right now. Taking some more map control and then just seeing if they can find some frags and go off that.
Yeah, nice mindset from Ethan, though. Hyper aware that this is a possibility. Yes. They have no real step towards middle, so you can see him kind of playing around this. You've got to be careful with SK. These guys do get a little scary, even with pistols. You give them map control, you give them a gun like a Deagle with armor to supplement and the scout there. You get tagged up, it starts to kind of unravel, doesn't it? So you've got to be a little cautious. If SK do start working, and they're getting quite close towards A, aren't they? You've got 1 in connector, 1 ramp, 1 palace. This jump off is going to be pretty tough to handle. Taco already finding Ethan is going to make it harder. 5v4. Cutler in a bit of a tricky predicament as well. If he gets pinched through connector, that's the vulnerability of playing Dark. You have nowhere to go to. You just have to take straight fights. And he knows that. He has to somehow fight his way out. But Fallen's already found Kusta. He is still doing great work here. SK aren't able to pressure at the same time, but now they do. It's down to this 2v3 here. Bomb yet to commit. And the timing, what? How did Phelps not land that? I felt that was almost a given. And now it's on FNS in a 1v2. Bomb yet to be planted, of course, so time is still decent for him. But can he find the... Oh, yes, he can! Final man found. Fallen lives up to his name and goes down, but just... That round was very close.
Incredibly close. I really like the fact that they actually waited with the bomb. The bomb was in mid and then it rotated around in T-spawn just to make sure that the site was either secure or that they had it down to a 1v1 or something on the site before the bomb comes in. So you always constantly keep SK in that guessing work. Could he go B? Could there be some kind of flank coming in? The bomb doesn't commit until they're absolutely sure A was where they want to hit. But FNS makes it work, and 5-0 for CLG right now. SK Gaming though on the buy, 4 Molotovs, 4 smokes, Fallen with the AWP.
If I'm SK, you've got to be aware of this, but Cutler's position is obnoxious, if anything. Look at that Fur, you've got to be frustrated. Ethan might have heard a sound, maybe a scope coming in or out, or just felt that there may be pressure through ramp, mollies it out, backs away. And so far, CLG's CT side is very fluid. That's all I'm feeling here, but Phelps winning out in middle is massive. That opens up a gateway of opportunities. Now, Ethan's vulnerable and he knows it. He's got players at least in towards jungle. You've got Cutler coming back around. But there's still that AWP up on Fallen. They've got so much utility to put into play on the SK side.
If they place down a couple of smokes and then pressure Ethan from both sides, and there's nothing his teammates can do to help him, so he has to take that fight. And he does. I actually really like this from him, knowing exactly what kind of situation he's in and how much pressure he's under, taking the fight and then winning it out, and now positioning himself a bit better. Let's see here if the Terrors can make this work.
Good flashes, isolates one, forces them back. They was falling, got flashed up by Tetris. coldzera's going to play through, but here's the support. FNS comes out well, and so does Cutler. Great timing on the peaks together. As soon as there's pressure towards Ethan, you see the rest of CLG diving in for the support play. But coldzera, beast, legend, myth. 33 HP, it's not looking likely, but I don't doubt this man on occasion. There's the first to fall being Cutler, and now it's a 1v2, and this is where coldzera starts to look a little bit scary, but no. FNS doesn't let it get to that point. Orbs recovered, round on the board. CLG looking very good.
What a great CT side so far from them. It really shows that they know exactly who they're up against, because those T sides you can always get some kind of read on SK. Of course, sometimes you can not always win the duels, but you can always have some kind of idea what they're doing. This shows that SK really needs to go deep in their strat book in order to compete with CLG here when they're on this T side here on Mirage, because CLG knows exactly what they're doing. And I'd like to credit this, of course, to the players, but of course, as I mentioned on the desk, the coach, Pet, he's doing a really, really good amount of work, and I think he's one of the reasons why this team has actually come so far in the last few months.
Well, as well with CLG, they work individually. It's not just as a collective. They'll do their own sort of training as well, which, you know, you can see here. I just love how fluid that CT side is so far. It's the least static CT side I've seen in a while, you know. I credit a lot of, you know, that sort of play that normally I see out of like SK or you're like maybe your Astralis, right? When Device is ever on the map, it's hard to escape this guy.
Yeah.
But right now, they're playing a beautiful game. It's, you know, we've seen Cutler up mid, playing in towards underpass, getting that frag, falling all the way back towards A, supporting Ethan. They're pushing up ramp. It's very hard to handle this for SK. And these guys were gods at this, remember. SK's CT sides were so nice, pushing up on B, getting that full B apps control, and you know that mid pressure they came out with. They know what this is like, because they used to do it to others.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just hard to handle. Now the double ups in play. Ricky gets a shot at this.
See here, Ricky and Kusta.
Pace.
Deadly duo. coldzera though, pushing in, and Cutler's ready.
Yeah, this is a very quick place from SK. They want to catch him off guard, try and find a little bit of a chink in the armor, but no, not going to happen, and Cutler takes the head off of one, that'll be Fur, and then a swift round to follow, but just getting out of the way. The pause came in probably from SK during that time to discuss the round when the bigger buy comes in. Maybe just throwing themselves into that round, like, all right, if we get a couple of kills, cool, but don't worry, this is the comeback. This is where it turns around. Because we said it before, I don't want to write out SK. Even at 7-0, I'm not going to start saying, nah, they can't do it. If they get that, you know, that one right thing that goes into their heads and it starts to work out, this is where things change and it gets quite scary. So the smokes go towards mid.
Yeah, this is mid control coming in. The flash coming in from Fur as well. Double flash coming in, taking once again that kind of aggressive approach. But let's see. Fern's 17 HP. The nades have been on point.
I think that was Kusta tagging him, I'm pretty sure, with the timing. I'm not 100% sure, but true. Kusta has found Phelps anyway, so not the initial target he went for, but oh, he's got a feeling. And this might feel damn good for him. That's Fur gone now. 3 left for SK. That mid pressure, it worked well until he tried to break through connector, but Taco's gone through on A. That's massive. He can dominate this side, he can cause rotates, he can be the pain in their side. And surely CLG can't read this correctly. The bomb's going B. They've lost complete control on A. The bomb's going B. Nothing indicates this. They haven't stepped, they haven't made noise. If Ricky gets an idea of what's happening, that's purely because someone stepped. Fallen, I doubt, is going to make that issue happen. And you can see coldzera's holding mid, trying to hold that rotate, but Ricky might have heard something.
Yeah,
Ricky has definitely heard something. We've got to see Ricky's perspective here, because he has certainly heard something going wrong. But now, yeah, there it is. It's time. He's starting to run, because they won out in mid as well. Ricky doesn't hit the first. Flash goes over, and the bomb's taking the safe route.
Let's see it. Ricky between a rock and a hard place, and we'll go down to the ground. And this is what we're talking about. Like, even if SK goes down 0-7, they still have that chance of picking themselves back up. And that's why no one is really doubting them, despite them having a bad start. We know they can pick themselves back up. They pick up a good strat. They take that mid control, even despite the first player getting attacked as they go in, even getting down by Kusta, they still recuperate and get back into the round. Use those smokes to their advantage and just play like SK, like the SK we're used to seeing. And this is the start they needed now. Get back into the game.
Taking brute force mid control like that was brilliant. Taco finding room as well on A, loved that. That kind of just ripped everything apart, right? So nicely done to SK. This is what we talk about, the adaptation, the way they can just mentally get themselves back into a game. That's a good example of it. But now Kusta's got a new angle, been playing window quite regularly. It's been Ricky generally playing off of short, but he's pushing up on this. He does have support through connector, but oh, the run boost. If you hit this, Kusta, you are a damn god. He doesn't. But now the peak comes in. Fallen gets him down. This is the start you want for SK. This is how they build back in. They take the hard fights, they take the hard road back into this game, but Color evens the odds. Back down to this 4v4. coldzera going to put down the, I guess, CT side smoke towards Connector. And now we wait to see if they continue this push.
Smoke landing out. Cutlet in position still and focused now towards short. It's going to be FNS on the bomb side. Ethan in the window, just very carefully holding for now. Fallen has some kind of idea. His spider sense is tingling. Doesn't hit the shot though.
No, but FNS, you're going to be quaking in your boots at that point. You're like, all right, I'm here, but I kind of need support if they actually hit B. So Ethan's come around nicely. They've split the sides 2-2. You got Ricky, still over by A, playing, I guess, out of CT. Cutler on towards site. So they're basically allowing SK to commit, but they have to commit. It's hard to handle SK when they're like this. You see Fur on A, that may make you feel like, oh, well, okay, maybe it's an A. No. It's definitely not, and you've got a player working their way through CT now. That's going to cause the A players real uncomfortable positioning, and coldzera, mental fortitude of a god, finds FNS, checking his corners. That's the sort of power this guy brings. Now the rotate is denied. Fur cuts it off at its heels. Ricky, you've surely got no option here. Time to save.
Yeah, that was really godlike by Fur. He only gets one kill, but kind of the information he gets from that flank position, where he just walks in, holds a position for 30 seconds around stairs, and just listens to what CLG are doing, what the movement is like, then rotates into it, and then he listens to CT as well. Just making sure that he has the flank, whatever happens. Ricky actually taken out to 8 HP, so he might not even survive this. Once again, really, really nice round from SK, and further linchpin there, making it all happen, while the rest of the team pushing it towards B. Ricky still trying to survive here.
He's doing a good job at it, to be honest. Taco isn't going to go much further either. So, all in all, SK great recovery. CLG have been putting up fights everywhere. You feel that maybe if coldzera wasn't such a god at just fully committing to checking corners like he does, that could have been a problem. But look at this, I know that looks like nothing, but let's put this into perspective. Something that Sponge will often bring up, and I've got to say it again, is the fact that people will check corners just out of the habit of doing it without the intent of actually assuming there's a player there. And you see coldzera doing it. This guy checks everything. You don't get away with anything in this situation. And Ricky going to stick on the AWP. He still has that to hand, so why not?
Oh.
Kusta was in this angle before, so I wonder if they're going to beat Ricky this time, though. Succeeds, Fallen goes down, and an early advantage, but the rest are just on pistols here.
This is going to be a hard round for CLG, but first play gone down for SK. All the help they need? That's a question. Once again, mid control has been established after the first frag from Ricky. I really like going in, getting advantages and rotating back, holding a more passive angle. But then again, this gives the mid control to SK, and we know what they can do with this kind of map control. Right now, they're just situated, Fur trying to get into the same position as before, and just listening in, trying to see if you can see any movement or hear any movement from CLG to give information to his teammates. But CLG just holding strong, just standing their ground.
Fur's finding so much wiggle room in this game as well. He's always pressuring that really annoying spot, just kind of getting to them. But for this finding coldzera is good. Any addition to this is great, but let's keep eyes towards Ricky. He's the only one who can really do damage, but look where the bomb is. It's still about the top of mid, so if CLG don't just kind of like run in and just, I'll screw it, get the round over with, and they play quite smart to this, they're still in a good spot here. Taco, if he'd stepped then and just seen Kusta going, that'd be round done, but looks like CLG are just going to group up. Fur's in such a good position, though, it makes it so uncomfortable. Good intuition from Kusta just to shoulder peek that, not going to fully commit to it, but now they're working out where these players are. The bomb is slowly working around towards A as well, so at the moment, SK do have some sort of A control because Taco's slowly worked his way up. His timing is so good as well. It's just brilliant to watch. Now, Cutler's got the Deagle, so he can play into this. I'm not sure if they heard the tag through the molly then, but he's found an angle on this, a nice little off angle too, and he didn't initially get checked on, but then Taco came through. Very good work again from this man. Taco has been opening up A. When they do the mid pressure, he's the guy playing on the extremities of the map, and he's so diligent at it.
Yeah, definitely. This default is actually really nice. The one they've decided to play so far in these rounds for SK game where they drop the bomb up towards those B apartments, and then if Fur comes into mid, takes out mid control and goes aggressive onto stairs, and actually said, oh wow, okay, that's really cool. But Taco coming in on the extremities on that A side, trying to take control of that area. I really like the default. It's not anything too advanced from SK Gaming, but they make it work. They know exactly where everyone is. They have that game plan going on, and then the individual level is just god tier.
And this is the thing, let's kind of boil this down to what it is. Most teams won't go for that mid play, especially when there's 2 AWPs up.
Exactly.
And you're playing against your Kusta, he's having a good game, right? And so is Ricky as well. So it's very tricky to be able to get past that sort of thing. But SK, you can see how refined and well polished it is. They can still break right through that. They're not scared of these players. You heard Fallen saying he respects them, definitely, but there it is already. Ricky going to put his name on the board. Going to find Fur instantly. So that removes one of the threats from the extremities. But there's still this man. There's still Taco. And I never doubt him when he gets into the mood of things. This guy can really start being a real nuisance, because you can never leave A alone. You can never walk away from it. You can never just hope that they're going B or they're in middle. No matter what they show, he's still there and Ethan goes down. That's the impact this guy can have. Just straight up murdering him.
Yeah. And that's the nice thing about SK Gaming. It doesn't even matter who's left in a 1vx. Yeah. Anyone on this team can clutch, and anyone can step up individually. Kusta has the information. Takes down Felt too. Of course, looked in the wrong direction there. Falling coming in with the frag onto him, so get that refrag in a few seconds later. 3v2 now. Bomb is still dropped, as we can see in the normal spot towards the start of B apartments. All 3 terrorists are on the side right now. And, well, now they send Taka to get that bomb, but the rest of them are just holding tight. The CTs know where they are, but when time ticks down, they're going to be thinking about, okay, is this going to be the rotation? Are they going to go to B? We haven't seen a lot. We've seen their presence on A. How are they going to handle this? And CLG might start to doubt themselves. Staying put for now, though, which is the right call.
Oh, FNS wants to peek this so badly. Yeah, they're going to hear this. Coldzera is going to be alerted. What? FNS still wins that? Okay, now they actually back away. When the bomb was actually coming out towards ramp, I think they're just getting a bit of a misread on this. And yeah, a bit of a shame. If they were going to play this out from where they were, that could be a real threat. But Taco's actually going to plant for middle, which actually could work out well. He'll get FNS quickly towards window, maybe offset the timing slightly. But now Taco on towards site, Fallen towards connector. And the CTs do not have a kit, so timing is of the essence. Fallen misses a sitter, but trades into it well as Taco. And now he spots it. He knows what's happening, Ricky, but he has to get back into this one pretty damn fast, because that clock will be ticking, and brave as a lion. Let's see if he can do it. Work your way back in, Ricky. Find an angle, and he does! Taco! You can't expect that. Out of nowhere, Ricky pulls a shot off that. Hell, I'd expect that to be Kusta rather than Ricky.
That was an absolutely huge round from FNS and Ricky there. Landing shots, we're not really like counting on them to land, and they still make it work, despite the fact that SK are really doing a good job getting into the bomb side. This time around, I think them dropping that bomb that far away and then trying to get map control and then finding out to do later on is actually a bit bad for them, because then the bomb is just left way away, a long way away, and they have the bomb side, so kind of have to pick that up. Let's see if they're going to change it up now, because that's something that usually comes into a player's mind. If you have one small tiny mistake, you want to try and correct that straight away. Let's see if SK Gaming can do that. Maybe bring it better into this round. This is going to be an A split as it looks.
Look at the mid-stack though. Look at the CTs. There's like 2 players in mid already. Cutler, oh no, right next to Coldzera. He doesn't know what waits in that smoke. It's like a horror movie, and here we go. He peeks out. Oh, Cutler, you're scaring me here at this point when you don't hit that shot so cleanly, but it's fine. Coldzera goes down. It's okay. It's okay. We'll take a step back here, because SK's got the bomb down. They've got the site under wraps. They're holding very close towards connect. They're getting hard to play back in, but Cutler just brute forces it straight in. Don't expect that. Kusta trades in well as well, but they're down to 2 now. Taco, Fur. Oh, that position in towards Dark is going to be tough to fight out of, but Fur finding a fight would be great. Trying to even the odds would even be better, but all the utilities now spent. They're down to nothing but the guns, and that might be all they need. Fur going to find one. He's now surrounded, though, and Kusta, round the back, will do what's required, and the defuse will come through. CLG seem to finally be getting back into the game after SK started to run away with it.
Yeah, really, really nice that CLG can, after losing a couple of rounds, after having that great start, can reset SK and say, no, this is still our game, this is still our CT side. And that just shows great promise for this series to come, because that's what we really need CLG to have confidence in themselves and be able to shut SK Gaming down when they feel like it. Right now, of course, this has forced SK into a scrappy buy. 2 players on the Tech 9s, 1 on the UMP45, and only 2 on the AKs. And this is going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. Right now, they're stacking up towards B, but I think this is more going to be a control play towards mid, with 1 player stuck on top of that and 1 player towards A ramp. So this might look like an A split coming in the next 45 seconds or something like that. I do have the utility for it as well.
Yeah, we'll see the timing on this one. Ethan trying to find an angle to work with in middle. I think he just caught a glimpse of one. Yeah, he did. Phelps, I'll give you understand. Oh god, the timing. Ethan almost gets away with murder on that, but he doesn't. He gets caught in the end. They do check on it. Kusta still on A in the off angle. That's actually impressive. He's able to this guy can do everything, it seems. Rifle, orb, doesn't matter. He's fine. Down pretty low, though. And now Fur. It's not impossible for him to do this, but the bomb's still left towards connector. I don't know if they spotted it, but Ricky might spot him. No. Ricky actually wasn't checking towards window, so Fur's got himself in a really nice situation. Now, I'm curious if Kusta's already expecting this or wondering about it. I don't think he is. They're so unaware this is a possibility. The timing is just... It's not in their heads yet. It's not switched in that he could be in CT, and... Oh god, the smoke's so good. He's gonna spot it. Ooh, Kusta turns it! But Fur has that sustain. He has the HP. Down a little lower now, 52, but still certainly capable here. Ricky, though, in a good spot. but so unaware as to where Fur is going. Fur is fighting for this tooth and nail, and I love it.
So much time left as well. Fur has a Molotov also. Ricky with a kit and a smoke, but all close range. He's made it work before, but usually not what you would prefer in that situation. Ricky just holding his ground.
Ricky just has to place that bomb, but that position is pretty awkward. Oh, did he hear that? Fur might have heard the drop then. Ricky round the back. He didn't hear the drop in the end, but you could see the mental game going on between Fur and basically the opponents he was assuming were there. But credit to him to even get it to that close. You know, he really found routes, avenues of approach that just weren't meant to be there for him. But Kusta did a great bit of work there with the M4 in towards A. You don't expect, again, to see this guy having such consistency, you know, good control as well, but certainly doing nicely for himself. That definitely tipped the scale back, and now CLG keep that nice lead, because it felt like as soon as SK worked out that mid-play, that was going to be the rest of the game. Just can, you know, rinse and repeat that. But no, there has been a recovery. There has been that kind of lapse in SK's dominance now.
Once again, they're on this kind of force buy where they're not on the complete, like they only have 1 or 2 AKs, and this leaves it so easy for Ricky. At least if he's the first one, he's under pressure now, needs the backup to come in. P250 and a teammate coming in as well. Counting all this, Ricky's making it work. Fallen answering back though. FNS in good position, and that should be the round as FNS is taken out, but it doesn't matter. He has teammates coming in, checking it for him.
Ricky, I love that play. That was so sick. Just sat there like, all right, I get one, and then you know you're in trouble. You're down to a P250. You've got like 3 guys coming towards you. Maybe like they could do anything to you, and he still finds more. Grit, determination, and sheer ability. This guy's showing it this game. We haven't had the chance to say this. Ricky has those games sometimes where it just feels like he goes off.
Yes.
This is one of them.
Definitely.
You know, he's up there with like Kusta right now, score-wise, but impact on the round, he's been absolutely sublime. Smoke goes in. Kusta, again, can just retain position towards Connector for now. Only onto the scout, though, but SK Gaming are in a far worse situation money-wise, so it's not the end of the world. 1 rifle on Taco. He's still doing that lurk. He's still doing what he does. Ricky finds an angle. Nice boost towards middle. And the push out from Ethan as well. Incredibly hard to handle this CT side. They've gone back into that aggression. It's almost overbearing.
Yeah, it must be so bad, feels so bad for SK right now, because they have 3 rounds in a row without decent weaponry, and it's so hard to win when you're playing against a team that are, of course, beating you in the duels, also kind of reading you tactically, and then you, apart from that, you don't have the correct weaponry to battle against it as well. Then it gets really, really hard to get back into this game, and usually something that SK Game are good at, getting back into games where they are behind. This is not happening right now. This could look like a 12-3 half for CLG.
So, thank God Alex has that, you know, lifelong tattoo on his arm now of CLG. He's chosen the right moment to support, but what a half! 12-3. Now, I thought this was going to be a good game. I think the Mirage was probably more favorable to CLG, because you know the homework they're going to do coming into this. They knew that they could probably get Mirage at this sort of point. It's a good map as well for SK. It's not like they're slouches on this, right? They've just had good results for CLG's favor against SK. Now, for SK, it's the marathon, right? They're playing for the long game. They're not too worried about first map. Even if they drop that, it's fine. The next 2 do sit very nicely with them. You need something above what you'd expect from CLG to compete. I think, at least on train, for me, I still feel always sits quite nicely with SK Gaming. But still, this is a start that will get you wondering if you're SK. They are a team that I don't think will ever crumble under pressure. They'll still play a great game. You saw that mid-game adaptation that got them the 3 rounds. That kind of secured them at least a chance in the second half. Limited it may be. But still, this is a very strong statement CLG have come out with.
Yeah, I really like the fact that when you have 2 teams that play each other so much, we have the same thing with Danish and Swedish CS. It doesn't even matter if one of the teams are considered to be lower ranked. They can always make it work because they play each other so much and know the play styles and know surprises. So you can just plan the game out. And this is what Counterlogic Gaming have done right now. Now they're moving into the pistol round in the second half of the first map. 2 smokes, 3 flashes and a nade. Let's see what they want to do with it. Looks like a
big old A hit.
Big old A hit. My favorite matchmaking strategy.
You can't go wrong, right? 2 smokes go in, probably 1 jungle, 1 stairs.
Yep.
Flash over, face CT. Let's go. Let's see what we've got here. Fallen, though, is in such a nice spot for this. It's hard to get overwhelmed if you get dinged. That's a bit of an issue, but we'll see. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. Absolutely precise as you like. Laser precision. He does get the tag towards Ethan as well, but now under pressure, the ding comes in. That's when you get a little bit worried. You hope that the crossbar pays in. And Phelps, please help him out. Fallen is drowning. He's smothered. He's surrounded. Left, right, not anymore. Ricky finally gets him down, but Fur is there, and the support's arrived, and the flank comes in. This would be incredible if FNS can pull this off, but they're charging at him. What the hell? 5, but oh my God, FNS! He's been given a chance. FNS has every opportunity, but no, Taco isn't going to let this one slip. Again, the backbone thus far for SK. has to keep their team in this one.
That was way closer than it should have been, I feel. I feel like
Why are
SK
they running at him?
should have shot that down 2 kills before. They didn't, though. Managed to get it in the end, so good for them. But it's showing that there are still like kind of holes in the armor of SK right now. They're not looking unbeatable at all, and they're making mistakes, which is something that we don't see a lot because usually they're such a well-structured team. They're so good. They're number 1 on top of the rankings right now. This time around, CLG only with pistols, Ricky and Ethan with armor behind them as well, and 1 flashbang from Kusta. Let's see what they want to do with it. Right now situated towards B apartments and 2 very defensively in mid. And then FNS just holding with the P250 on the opposite bomb side, making sure that the quick flank cannot come in from SK. And I kind of like that, just placing 1 player on the opposite end of the map, just to make sure that the CTs, if they decide to push it, you at least know about it.
And this now becomes just SK keeping calm, just not letting mistakes happen to them. And this is the play I was talking about when Taco always pushes up towards B apartments. Yep. Deep smoke goes in, he'll push himself up. He's either an early warning system, he can start playing the back once he starts feeling it. And we'll see if CLG even check on this. Yeah, he's getting played in as well. You can see the bait from coldzera. Ricky's eyes, you know, he's tunnel visioned. He's like, all right, there's definitely no one else here. There it is. Taco swings out. That's an impact frag as well. You get that, and now, you know, for CLG, you're just kind of left a little deflated.
Yeah. It always feels terrible to start around that gap. Coming in there, just getting baited completely, falling, picking up 1. But FNS with the P250, doing work.
For a jumping Tech 9, it's not the dream.
2 low players in that mid area right now.
Yeah, they could make something out of this. It's just you're waiting for like a real peak, not just like the jumping angles you might be able to find. He does get up towards connector, but surely Fallen's going to stop him from getting into a jungle. No, Fallen's let them pass. That could have been an issue. Yeah, Ethan's still there. He's got a UMP. Fur's not going to flinch at the end, however. So SK keep this one together. A little bit of a, you know, wiping the sweat from the brow there, possibly for Fallen. Just like, all right, guys, we're back in this. We got what we needed to at least start this game off.
And this is the grind now for SK Gaming to get this back on the track, because we all know they have the quality to grind this back, and it's not a worry yet, but still it's going to be a long way. It's still a decent couple of rounds that they have to shut down completely without giving anything away to CLG before they can start feel like they have a control over this game again. But and again, SK Gaming, we know them for their T sides, but their CT sides are not shabby at all either. They are actually very, very good.
And now, very light purchase. Bomb plant is a dream in CLG's mind. Fallen going farming. Ethan, though, still going to find coldzera, but you know, it's not the end of the world right now. As long as they keep players alive, and they do, this is perfectly fine. Kusta's got himself a UMP and just hoping no one finds him, but he will be found. And good start for SK. This is the road to recovery for these guys. It's get clean first 3 rounds. Let's look at the gun round. This is where the fight really begins. This is why the talking's happening. This is why Fallen's becoming active, because you need to get into people's heads. You know, to get yourself all on the right level. coldzera's got the AWP. We've got the double AWP straight away. It's a big investment.
And this is why I'm looking at CLG, because this is where they need to come out on top and show that they also have like a really, really good T execute, really, really heavy strat book for this T side, because they're going to need that to surprise SK Gaming.
But look at this approach from SK as well. They're kind of almost absconding away from A. You've got a player towards jungle connector, and then 1 very passive CT. So they're really not actively playing A. If this A hit comes in from CLG, which it might do right about now, the smoke's going to come in, they don't have to commit to this. SK Gaming can play full retake. Yeah, Fur is falling off of this. Going to look towards mid, but Ricky's there quickly. Good timing on that, and Ricky even succeeds again. Fallen going down on short is massive. That is mid under pretty much control. You can do a late smoke towards jungle, deny that play back in. That cuts off 2 players. Velp's the only who can play back into this, but the bomb's planted, and they might just push CT. Yeah, they are. Kusta will be the first to fall, but still, it's a good trade out as well. CLG have real power here.
This is a really nice strategy. Very simple, doing the timing contact play onto A ramp, but playing 1 player in middle, because you know that SK Gaming, they can play this retake, as you mentioned. So you have to have just 1 being able to catch those frags. Ricky just jackpots it and just gets 2 frags. That just eases that bomb side, forces the rest of AK to think about the situation, and now coldzera and Taco will be forced in that save. So again, simple, but really, really nice, and timing-wise, perfect for CLG this round here.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, what you can really ask for. Nice little upgrade for Taco, if he can get away. Flash! Not going to be able to be the one to get the kill, but he's got support there. That's all right, coldzera's got his back. It's fine, it's fine. But yeah, no, I'm thoroughly impressed so far with CLG. That hit was great, and it's Ricky in mid. You got Furkler forward back, and then instantly...
Wow.
I barely... What? Ricky, how do you see these things? This is why I can't play video games. I'm essentially blind at this point, let's be honest.
Yeah, I have glasses, so I can't say anything either. So Ricky, he just has superhuman eyesight, apparently.
Apparently so, but SK can at least go on a decent buy here, so it's not the end of the world.
See it falling on an orb. Glass cannon, of course. The rest of the team spending a lot of their utility early in the round, but still a decent buy-up for them. Still have 2 mollies remaining. But CLG, once again, looking at them to provide us with something out of the ordinary. Nice smoke bang from Taco. Just knows that timing so well. Kusta goes down. And 1 removed, 4 to go for SK Gaming.
But they're going to go on this as well. They're fully committing. Ethan's straight in there. Oh, he catches the flash. That's going to stop 2 from being able to hit. Now they have to slow down. The mollies come in, but already SK Gaming are in the right place at the right time. And Phelps is doing everything he can. Coldzera's going to join in on the fun. And this hit never began for CLG. As soon as that first kill came on towards Kusta, then the perfect flash.
The flash timing was so beautiful. And that's what you dream of as a CS player, just to throw that perfect flashbang that can stop an entire rush, because then the Molotovs come down afterwards, they have a hard time coming in, you have at least 1 player rotating as well, and there's nothing the terrorists can do really when you get that start of a round as CT, and it's just perfect from SK, what they need to get back into the game, allow SK or CLG to think, yeah, we can go back into this, we can do something, and then just slam them down on the ground. Ricky's still trying to go for this. Or at least trying to get something done, obviously not. I'm gonna throw this one away.
Look, Ricky's feeling it, alright?
Self-confidence is real right now.
The taps are not there. You're not Scream. Sorry.
Sadly not.
You don't need to be Scream, you're doing just fine.
Yeah,
Ricky is good, don't worry.
Well, Ricky's doing fine so far, and his team are leading against SK. It's been a while since a team with Scream in it has been able to do that, so...
Flamer.
I love
Flamer,
Scream, so it's okay.
How dare The fans are in rapture. Risky's gonna be lynched at the end of this. Anyway, SK are in a decent position now, keeping control of this one. Down to a couple of deagles for the CLG boys. Ethan and Cutler on towards that, the rest just on the Glock hype.
I really like going back to the old school, kind of like full eco round, where you don't force really anything to it. Cutler though with a deagle. Apparently that's all he needs.
Look, Cutler's not known to be like, you know, the aim star, you know, the god of this team, but give him a deagle and he'll just go nuts.
Yeah.
I'm making that up completely, I have no idea, but I like the idea of it. It makes me very happy. But you got Ethan there on a bit of a fact-finding mission as well. He's going to spot out where Phelps is towards connector. Maybe we can see a bit of a pinch towards middle, but it's hard to punish SK. They're generally a very, very smart collective team. Even when you're with the Deagles, you're not going to get a massive amount of play into this.
Yeah, and these kind of full eco rounds, they allow you to kind of restructure and focus on the next buy round as well, because you have sometimes so much time to kill. So usually it's a simple strategy in a round like this, because you know you're not going to get too much out of it. So you kind of like think about, okay, what are we going to do in the next one? And then you have a perfect setup for the full buy in the next coming round. Even if you do a double eco, you have even more time to think. And I think that's better than just constantly force buying all the time, because Taco in this position is just going to shut everyone down. There's no really any doubt.
It's hard to peek into that and actually be able to trade on it, or, you know, get a couple of people facing. Very nice position, of course. It essentially makes you commit to the whole side. So good stuff thus far for SK Gaming, showing that, as said, no matter what the scoreline is, they are still incredibly deadly. And now it's pause time, possibly discussion point for CLG. Get themselves ready for that gun round coming in. I'm a pet, maybe just going through the options. This guy, you know they're going to be prepared for this map specifically. You know they're going to have plans in mind as to how they want to approach this. There are plenty of options as well. We haven't really seen CLG get into the game that much. We saw that one really nice A hit, but not much more. There hasn't been that kind of like, you know, consistent buy round coming in. We haven't had the money working very well for them yet.
I'm looking really to the coach and to the team in general and the strat book, because that's something that I'm a pet, the coach, has talked about a lot. They have a very, very extensive strat book, and against a team like SK, they have so much information on them. They play them in the usual NA leagues. They're a team that you can download so many demos on, because they've been playing on a high level at every single tournament for so long. So I'm really looking at them to not exactly counter strat, but kind of to have found something in the SK defense that they can kind of utilize and play off that, because they have been studying SK for a long time, and I need to see this pay off now.
This is always the thing, isn't it? It's hard to keep yourself at the top of any sort of ladder, just purely because everyone looks up to what you do, whether it be just in practicality or not. But it's tough to handle. It's not easy to retain dominance like that. And SK, of course, have had multiple teams looking into what they do, and CLG is no different. Now, 3 smokes, very quick smokes towards middle, and then 1 left on FNS, and a couple of flashes with the upgraded pistols and armor. But that's all you're going to get here. And for SK, they shouldn't lose out on much, but I'm wondering what CLG's plan is once that buy round comes in.
Decision making is really nice because CLG were in a position where they could technically buy. 2 of the players could get AKs with full utility, and some of the players would be on a UMP 45s missing a flashbang. They decided to go for the pistol buy here in order to get a full buy next round. And the patience for CLG is really important because they know they're on 13 rounds. They can afford to play a couple of chance rounds here in order to have that full 100% buy. I saw one of the players buying down to 50-100. That's a bit of a problem, but if they get the bomb down, it's not really going to be that big of an issue with the loss bonus as well. Or not with the loss bonus, just with the bomb money coming in. So let's see here. Pistols coming in for CLG. Full buy from SK.
Oh, that flash timing is perfect. Fur requesting that one, and it just gets delivered through. Ethan going to break in towards 1, though. That's going to lighten a little bit of this pinch towards A, but breaking past this point ain't going to happen because Coldzera seems to be playing bots at the moment, and that's all right by it.
Okay, so they don't get the bomb. Still, of course, gets the loss bonus. And now, coming into the buy, CLG. What do they have in store? I would like to see Kusto on a T-side op here.
We'll see.
I'm not going to get that.
No. Again, money may be a little bit of an issue, but they've got all the utility, all the money. Yeah. They could have maybe gone for a glass cannon for quiet.
Yeah, and that was what I was wondering. Like, if an SQ was buying down to 1500 and now he's missing some utility, hopefully it's not going to be the thing that breaks them since the rest of the team has full utility. But this is where they need to show up, CLG. If they can get on 14 now, that would be perfect.
Look at this ace stack from SK Gaming. They've got a read here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be right or not. Bearing in mind, if CLG get an inkling or a feeling that this is the case, they can instantly just hammer it over towards B. Now, Taco's playing this alone. There's no one really in mid, aside from Fur playing through towards connector, but no one on window, no one on short. So this is very curious.
Looks like a good read, to be honest.
Yeah, it really does.
They're stacking up in mid and 1 player in underpass, so they're looking to probably hit A through connector and then 1 guy coming in through Prowlers, just leaving that ramp where you usually go into A. But here we go, rotation coming in from SK. They're now rotating into more defensive positions.
It's purely because I think Color's smoke pretty much caused that. They did this deeper smoke towards the other side of connector, which always kind of indicates you're going to go up short or play off the back of that. But they haven't actually committed towards B yet either. If they show a little bit of leg or something, they've actually diffused this whole situation of the A stack. This is actually very nicely done from CLG. Now they've kind of almost reset this to a normal round to a degree. Fur, though, brilliant position. That is the sort of mindset that these guys are in. They're so hyper aware of even the weaknesses, but Ethan's going to start tendering out here, and no one watching the palace push? What on earth? No, there was one in towards Sandwich, but Coldzera just didn't see him, and now gets outdone. Ricky breaks in. A is all his. Bomb surely goes down any second now. Molly's already in towards CT, and Fallen is just left wondering what the hell just happened to his team.
Yeah. Of course, they get a bit lucky. Some mistakes there coming in from SK Gaming, but still they punish the mistakes and they make their take work. They believe in it as well. They waited a long time in mid, making sure that everyone was on the same page, just doing work and then getting into the A-bomb site. I really like the fact that you can leave like ramp open and not care about ramp at all, then play 1 guy palace, the rest coming in from connector. It's a very, like, it's not a traditional kind of A push. And I think that's what forces SK Gaming to really rethink the situation and perhaps also rotate back when they see that smoke coming in towards short, because then you think, okay, no one A ramp. Look at this from Fallen. Aggressive play underpass.
Underpass.
Woo.
As you do. Ricky's like, all right, well, that was an AWP, wasn't it? Okay. Back to business, but we do have the AWP on Kuster as well, but Fallen actually makes it away as well. That's impressive. They even get away with that.
Yeah. I felt like they should have punished that.
Yeah, they really should have. I'm kind of surprised he made it out of there scot-free, but with 3 players at the top of the middle as well. But this looks like quite an explosive hit. Like, look at Carlo, look at the way these guys are playing this out. This could be just a set piece on timing, but Kuster is going to work his way through here. There are smokes to be made.
The difference is from the last round, this is almost the same setup, but the difference is the bomb is dropped all on the back of B apartments, because once again they have 1 player at least in the area towards underpass, the rest top mid, and then 1 palace. But this time the bomb is dropped, so that means they are doing a bit of a slower approach, trying to see if they can get an opening and then maybe rotate off that. So this might not be an A hit, even though it looks like the A hit we saw from the round before.
Well, they've only got 1 smoke left on Ricky, so again, if they've got to make their minds up pretty soon if they do want to go for this A hit.
Now it looks like it.
Yeah, but the double stack towards ramp could be a massive issue. It kind of cuts off Ethan if he swings out wide, but we're going to see the timing because Cutler's actually coming right back around towards it as well. And you can see that SK Gaming, even though in good spot, they're still kind of pinched here. If something goes wrong, it goes really wrong. Now, there's already 1 through by connector, which I don't know if Fallen's aware of or not. If they time it right, peeking in towards this one, it's going to be hard for him to find 2. And the timing clearly didn't work out. It's not on the kill feed, so Fallen now knows Connector is the issue, but Ethan, the timing is perfect. Oh my word, this hit is sublime. Ethan as well, facing towards Ramp, he loses out to Phelps though. That's kept hope alive. The bomb can't go down safely now. It will go down, but you're always a little worried of Ramp now. You're keeping that in the back of your mind, and there's two players they need to work out where they are.
Phelps was 6 HP. Probably feels like it will take a lot from him to go in and do this retake. They do have a kit, but it's once again on Phelps with 6 HP.
But look at FNS though, he even actually goes towards Ramp to check that it's clear now. Exactly. A huge risk at this point. So now it's, okay, he's either Palace or he's gone Connector. And, well, we know that he's gone Connector, there's one at CT, but still, that's very smartly done. Limited utility, but the molly will be put down. Ricky's gonna be forced out. He's got a face now. He's got no other option. FNS gets played in, and now the 1v1, but listen to the time. There's no time left. And a sensational hit from CLG. That A hit through middle was so well done. The timing on Ethan's play, that's the sort of lurking play that you just have dreams made of.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, it just shows how well timing can be used in CSGO. It doesn't even matter if you have, like, if you're playing against one of the best teams in the world. If you have the perfect timing on a hit and you utilize the flashes and the smokes at the same time, you can get those openings. You can take anyone down, and that's what CLG are doing right there. They're 15-9. They're 1 round away from taking the first map here against SK Gaming, who are forced on pistols and UMP at this point.
Yeah, this is a great display of dominance from CLG. The rounds they've won have been so well constructed. I'm just thoroughly impressed with it. I do feel as though that SK, it's about longevity here, and what a start. Ricky, just a cheeky little freebie. You know what I mean? That's not bad. That's when you walk up to stands, you get those little freebies, you get the T-shirt thrown out. That's what DreamHack's about, all right? Everyone loves free stuff.
Yes.
But still, perfect beginning for CLG in case they needed any more gifted over towards them. But a 15-9 scoreline is something that we're very pleased with at this point. Of course, one more round always nice.
Yeah, still 4 smokes, still 4 Molotovs on CLG. So right now they're just waiting it out, playing it passively, making sure if SK Gaming has someone in an aggressive position, they can take it out, kind of like Ricky got the first frag.
Yep.
And now, a few longer seconds in, they're trying to rotate into taking that mid-control. When they have that mid-control on the wrap, they'll make a decision, a mid-run call of, are we going to go A and B and how are we going to do it? Because that's pretty much what you need to do at this point. And clearing it out now, looks like Connector. And once again, they have that one player in Palace, and it's so good to come from Connector and then have that Palace control. Third, close range, getting taken out by Kotler through the wall.
This could be such a brilliant start for CLG. Get this best of 3 started off with a bang. These are the semi-finals that you want to be seeing. I'm so chuffed to be able to cast this one. Fallen, though, falls back towards Ramp. You've got one trying to play through at the edge of the smoke, and Fallen again. This is all done. This is all over. And Ricky's going to find Fallen. Cold Terror, last man standing. CLG getting the first one surely on the board here. And there it is. Kusta seals the deal. First map under the belt. What a statement from CLG. None of the announcers test backed them. Alex got the tattoo and he still doesn't agree. But that is how you make a semi-final begin. First map, CLG's. The next 2, that's where things get interesting.
And I have to say, Ricky, we see him on the replay. He has been absolutely perfect throughout this map. And of course, we look at Kusta as one of the star players of this team, but he hasn't really, he's been okay in this map. Of course, he's played really well, but Ricky has been the star so far. And if Kusta can step up to the same kind of level coming into the next maps, this series just...
Look, woo, I don't think anyone's going to forget Kusta's game against Fnatic on Train, and that's the next map.
Exactly.
But then again, you're coming up against SK on Train. So many factors here. So many good moments to come up. Again, though, you look at the map pool here for CLG. This is 3 of some of their best maps. Yeah. SK, you still feel, has a great map pool as well in this, but individually, no one shone to me. No one really stepped up. You normally have your Cold Zera. Taco had a really good first half, but it didn't really translate to much more than that, sadly.
No, definitely not. And this is great for CLG. I think this is the real chance for them to go into this series and actually have a great showing and maybe even make it to the finals, which would be absolutely wonderful for them, because coming off from a lackluster tournament in the Americas Minor and then coming into this DreamHack Open, this is the only thing they have for the schedule right now. So they're just all inning right now. And so far it's paying off. The series not done yet, though.
Absolutely not. Never write SK out when you've got a best of 3 on your hands, and we're not going to do that either. So we're going to take a very short break, but when we're back, we've got Train on the horizon, and I am hyped for it, and hopefully so are you.